day everybody, and welcome back to these videos about the astrological archetypes viewed through the perspective of the soul evolutionary path, based on the perspective of evolutionary astrology. So today talking about Aquarius, the water bearer. One thing I found interesting to mention is that the water bearer often makes us think that this is a water element sign, which is not the case. It actually belongs to the air element family. And I find it really interesting that symbolically it is said that the water bearer represents an overflow that is giving to the community, and this is where the beauty of Aquarius comes in. I will obviously speak about the lower octave expressions and the higher octave expressions, and these expressions are all, part of the human journey. So I hope we're not finding one worse or better, which we tend to do anyways, but it's really about just being aware of the potentials, and then we can hopefully choose more consciously which potentials we want to activate. So Aquarius, in its more lower octave expression, it's more of a rebel nature. It comes in the zodiac after Capricorn, which indicates already Capricorn, is this archetype of structure, governments, the third dimensional reality that we live in. And the given structures that we come into. And Aquarius is all about moving out of that. And so, I will start at the lower octave. In the lower octave, we can have an expression of Aquarius where the person literally stays within the system that they are born into, and they just kind of internally have this more like weird nature, or feeling weird, like basically feeling like they're not in the right place. And obviously many of us can feel like that. So we can have a person that maybe, for example, lives a normal life in a normal, structured societal job and lifestyle, but on the weekends maybe they go to some more funky dress-up parties, or into gothic, or into like fetish parties, some kind of supposedly weird things that give them a space where they can live out this, the nature of this Aquarius energy, where they actually feel like they are not part of this society. So this is one expression. This is an expression if the consciousness is still more in the herd state, which in evolutionary astrology we also pay quite a lot of attention to. Is the human being, or is the soul in the herd state, which is where a lot of the humans nowadays are in, like following the status quo? Or is the soul has moved or is moving into the individuated state? And the individuated state is where the soul really goes more outwardly and more visibly out of the status quo. And so we will have people who create their own work, their own business, their own expression, and there can be quite a lot of rebellion in that. There can be quite a lot of anger and like going against the grain, like almost it can seem like it's too much, but it's part of the evolutionary journey, so it's what it is. So each of those stages can go, or each of those behaviors can take a whole lifetime, can take several lifetimes, or a soul might move from the more herd state into the individuated state within a lifetime. Or a soul might move from this more rebellious state into a more innovative state. Or goes from the herd state into the innovative state right away, which I find really interesting. This Aquarius archetype can have huge, aspirations and visions for humanity. And so can bring a very innovative nature in as well. So basically, when the rebellious energy has been burned up to a certain degree, because there will always be a little bit of a rebel in there, there is more space for innovation and for creating something that actually circles back into the society that we are coming from. So this is where the water bearer comes in, overflowing. Once we kind of satiated our own need for feeling individual, we are freeing ourselves up to innovate, and we can then overflow that back into the society and enrich the place that we actually came from. This is like basically, the very high expression of Aquarius, which is quite interesting, I think, to see, because Pluto just moved into Aquarius, so it will be interesting to see how the next 20 years evolve. And obviously there's many different realities on planet Earth, so it can go in many ways, and it's about individually for each of us orienting ourselves. And this is what I wanted to say as well, exactly. Aquarius also, eventually along this journey, actually what it's about is to land, as corny as this sounds, in our heart. Because the polarity point of Aquarius is the archetype of Leo. And I spoke about Leo, I think, in the last video, actually. So Leo is full of heart, you know, full of love, actually. And so we always look at the polarity point of each sign to get some kind of, I like to feel like it's a sense of grounding and medicine. So yeah, for Aquarius, in order, you know, to kind of ground all this intense airy energy that's in there, like the rebel, the creativity, the innovation, the kind of breaking out and breaking free and opening our minds and opening up to new horizons, it can obviously be quite disorienting at times as well. So it really helps to come back into the heart and let our heart be a supporting guide on the journey of this life to make the fullest out of Aquarius. Yeah. So I thank you for tuning in today, and I wish you a good day. If you want to book a reading, of course, do that through the link in the description below, and I speak to you through the camera again soon. Bye bye.